As a female, I'm always excited to hear about other successful women who are contributing to the world with their unique talents. When I heard about Avital Handler, I couldn't help but invite her to the studio. She happens to be the first and only woman to play the tuba professionally in Israel, and she's also one of the very few female tuba soloists in the world. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, you know, the tuba doesn't necessarily have as sexy of a reputation as other instruments out there, like the guitar, for example. So how did you start playing this instrument?
Well, I played the piano, and I was born and raised in Israel, and we were looking for another instrument for me to play. My parents are not musicians. They took me to a concert called Tubby the Tuba, and in this concert, the poor tuba is basically doesn't have any solos and doesn't have anything that it can be proud of, and then it gets taught a beautiful song. And I always feel sorry for people, or for instruments, obviously, that don't get solos, and I said, I want to play the tuba. And they said, in Israel, of course, at the time, girls don't play tuba. And when people tell me that I can't do something, I usually want to do it. And so I said, I really want to play the tuba. And then again, they said to me, well, we don't think you can do it. Play the baritone, which is like a baby tuba. So I played the baritone for a year, and I insisted on playing the tuba. So everyone said, fine, play the tuba, but you won't succeed. And then, you know, I went to, I managed to play it well. My sister played the flute. She would send me to the end of the yard to practice my tuba. And slowly but surely, I started getting better. I went to a musical high school, and then I was accepted to the IDF, which is the Israel Defense Forces Army Band. And then I got a full scholarship for Boston University in the States and Manhattan School of Music. And during my second degree, I auditioned for the Israel Symphony Orchestra Rishon LeZion, and won my job. They let me finish my degree, and I was back here at age 25 playing the tuba professionally.
And that's huge. The tuba actually is the biggest brass instrument out there, correct?
Right. It's the biggest one, but it's also the baby. It's like the youngest. It was only invented 1836. But it is definitely the biggest.
Yeah, it's heavy and it's very deep. The sound is, it's a very strong bass, correct?
It's a strong bass. This is actually the smallest version of my tubas. It's my baby tuba. It's my solo tuba. I have a tuba that's a little bit bigger for solo orchestral stuff, and then I have my huge, big tuba, which I play with big orchestral pieces.
So what was it like to be a child growing up playing this instrument that not a lot of people really know about?
It was always my dream to make the tuba more center stage. And growing up, I basically got the oompa in the band. And in the Army band, you get a more principal part. And in the orchestra, once you're playing the tuba with orchestral pieces like Bruckner or Mahler, then the tuba becomes more important and more dominant. However, it is still considered stereotypically an instrument that does oompa. Therefore, you know, I decided to release a CD. I released a CD about a year ago, and it's called Tuba in the City. It can be found on iTunes, on Amazon, on cdbaby.com. It has not only classical tunes, but tunes that anyone can relate to. It has the Swan. It has songs like Everyone Wants Simple Songs. I think you have that YouTube video. Right. And it also has classical music. It's basically, I produced this disc so everyone from my mother till a grandmother and till a young person can always listen to this disc and enjoy it.
Absolutely. And I actually understand that you were chosen to represent a big brass instrument manufacturer. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. Actually, with great honor, I got chosen to be a Kantstuhl performing artist. This company is based in Los Angeles, and I was there in the summertime. I managed to meet the company owners through my colleague, John and Beth. They're both tuba players, Kantstuhl performing artists. And I showed them my disc, and we talked, and we decided, hey, I could do this in Israel, represent Kantstuhl in Israel and in Europe, and with great honor, I do it. And that's this tuba sitting here. It's a Kantstuhl F tuba.
So I know that you've actually performed in the past with a lot of big Israeli performers here, and so where can we see you performing now?
Well, at the moment, of course, I'm playing with my orchestra. That's the Israel Symphony Orchestra Rishon LeZion. I also formed with another tuba player in Israel, Chai Mazar, the Israel Tuba Duo, which we're performing all over Israel. In June, I was invited to the International Tuba and Euphonium Conference, which it's a great honor because I'll be the only Israeli, maybe the only or maybe another person will be there, but probably the only female Israeli playing at this conference, and it's a great honor. It'll be in Tennessee. I would love to see any Americans come say hi. We saw you on the news channel there. And all over Israel, I try to get the tuba to the front of the stage with children concerts and also adult concerts as much as I can.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Before we end this interview, I would love to hear a little something on this beautiful instrument. It looks massive, and you must be extremely strong to be able to carry this around.
And I just concluded a tour in Israel with my international tuba duo. It's called Tuba Chic. It's
Tuba Chic.
And it's my other colleague, a female tuba player from the States, and we decided to form this tuba duo that will perform also internationally. Amazing. All right, so I'm going to play you the tune from Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Nice. I mean, such a deep, rich sound. It must be amazing to see you live. I know you told me you have a couple of kids. You have 4 kids, right? So they must love hearing you perform at home, you know?
Well, actually, it's really quite funny because I practice when they're asleep. So it's they sleep through my practicing. It's like they're used to it from the womb to have tuba in the
Well, it's a beautiful sound to be used to.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.